A very good morning to all of you once again, my dear students. Today in Inside the Atom we shall discuss about the atomic structure. Now that you have come to know that there are three different types of atomic subatomic particles, that is protons, electrons and neutrons. So today we will see in detail about the characteristics of all these subatomic particles. Okay, fine. So let us discuss about the atomic structure. So atomic structure, first of all, you should know that it consists of the nucleus and the extranuclear part. Okay, so it also these contains the three different types of subatomic particles, that is protons, neutrons and the electrons. Okay, so first we will discuss about what is nucleus and what it consists of. So nucleus, always remember, is a positively charged. Almost the entire mass of the nucleus is concentrated in the entire mass of the atom is concentrated in the nucleus. So this I have already mentioned to you, so I am not discussing now in detail today. Fine. So remember, nucleus is positively charged and the entire mass of the atom is concentrated in the nucleus. Fine. So the nucleus consists of the subatomic particles called as the protons and the neutrons. Fine. Now and together they are called as the nucleons. So first we will discuss about the nuclear part, that is proton, which is symbol is P. Okay, so protons are, always remember, they are positively charged, as I have already mentioned to you before. So positive charge on the nucleus is all because of the protons which are present in it, and it is represented by the symbol P. So one proton has the 1 unit of charge, and that 1 unit of charge is nothing but 1 E is equal to 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulombs. So now this thing you are hearing for the first time. So you are going to learn about what is meant by charge and all in the standard 9. So remember, the charge carried by one proton as well as one electron is same, that is around 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulombs. So which is very less. Okay, so you can see minus 19 coulombs, so which is very less. So to make up for 1 coulomb, okay, so there has to be around 10 raised to 19 coulombs of charges for 1 coulomb to make up. Fine, 1 coulomb of charge, that means 10 raised to 19, 1.6 into 10 raised to 19 protons or 10 raised to 19 electrons should be there for 1 coulomb of charge. So remember, it is one proton carries very less charge, as well as same with the in case of the electrons. Okay, so remember, one proton has one unit positive charge, which is represented by the letter E. 1 E is equal to 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulomb. So remember this, you will have to when you will go in the higher studies, you have higher classes, you will have to remember this number. Fine. Now next let us discuss that the number of protons in the nucleus determines the total positive charge on the nucleus. That means whatever positive charge is there depends upon how many protons are there. Suppose if it is plus 3, that means there should be 3 protons inside the nucleus. Fine. So the number of protons in the nucleus will determine the total positive charge on the nucleus. Fine. So remember this. Then the protons constitutes the atomic number. So the number of protons is also equal to the atomic number. Now you are going to study in standard 10th about regarding the periodic table. In that periodic table you will be learning about how these different elements are arranged according to the atomic number. So remember, dear students, whatever number of protons are there in an atom tells its atomic number. Suppose if its atomic number is 6, that means it has 6 protons. Remember this. Okay, if it has 6 atomic number, then it has 6 protons. And remember, whatever is the number of protons, same are the number of electrons. Okay, when we are coming to electrons, that I am going to speak. So number of protons are also equal to number of electrons, and therefore since the positive charge and the negative charge are balanced, the atom as a whole is electrically neutral. So remember, whatever are the number of protons or whatever are the number of electrons, same will be their atomic number. So remember this, and this atomic number is denoted by the letter Z, capital Z. Okay, so the mass of one proton is also equal to one unified mass or one Dalton. So in honor of John Dalton, the mass of the proton or mass is denoted by the symbol Dalton, or it is also called as unified mass. So the mass of one proton is also equal to 1 Dalton, or you can also call it as 1 U or 1 unified mass, and the mass is almost equal to around 1.66 into 10 raised to minus 27 kilograms. So can you imagine? 10 raised to minus 27, that means you will have to draw 0 point around 27 zeros before 166. So that small is the mass of the proton. Okay, so 1 Dalton unit is around 1.66 into 10 raised to minus 27 kilogram. So therefore that means one proton has this much only mass. So you can imagine, because in a thickness of the page itself there are 10 like atoms, and inside the atom in the nucleus these protons are there. So you can imagine how small it is and how less will be its mass. So its mass is around 1.66 into 10 raised to 7 10 raised to minus 27 kilograms. Okay, so atomic number is denoted by the so its atom of the hydrogen also has the same mass, that is around 1.66. so the hydrogen is the smallest atom or the first atom you can see in the periodic table, whose atomic mass is same as that of one proton. Fine. Now let us discuss about the next one, that is the neutron. Now you have learned that positively charged is proton. Now we will discuss about the second nucleon, that is neutron. Okay, now neutron, the symbol of neutron is small n. Okay, now this neutron, okay, are electrically neutral, that means it does not carry any charge on it. Okay, and it is denoted by the symbol n. So neutron is almost equal to the number of protons. Okay, and the number of neutrons inside the atom is denoted by the letter capital N. See here, there are two different types of N. One, the symbol of neutron is small n, whereas the number of neutrons inside the atom is given by the capital N. Remember this. Okay. Then positively charged particle, that is proton, is denoted by symbol P, whereas the number of protons is denoted by the letter Z. This you should remember. Okay, so no confusions. Fine. So neutron symbol is N, but the number of neutrons is denoted by the capital N. Now all the atoms have the presence of neutron except the atom hydrogen. Okay, hydrogen is the only atom which does not have neutron in the nucleus. So mass of a neutron is also equal to one unified mass or one Dalton, or it is same as that, approximately similar to that of the mass of the proton. That means whatever is the mass of the proton, same will be the mass of the neutron. That is one unified mass. Remember this. Fine. So that means its mass is also almost equal to 1.66 into 10 raised to minus 27 kilograms. So it is almost equal to that of the proton. Fine. Now let us now discuss about the extranuclear part, which consists of nothing but the electrons and the revolving in the orbits and the empty space between the nucleus and the electron. So that is the extra, means outside the nucleus. Now let us discuss about the electron, which is denoted by the symbol E. Okay, so the electron is, remember, it is a negatively charged subatomic particle and it is denoted by the symbol E. Okay. Now, each electron also carries a 1 unit negative charge, and I've already told you 1 unit charge is nothing but equal to 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulomb. So even one electron carries that much charge. See, a charge is different and mass is different. Okay, charge is different and mass is different. Okay, proton carries a positive charge, electron carries a negative charge, and charge is measured in the unit coulombs. Fine. Whereas the mass is measured in terms of one unified mass or one diameter. Fine. And the mass of an electron is approximately 1800 times less than that of hydrogen atom. So you can imagine that the hydrogen atom itself has mass around 1 proton, mass of that of 1 proton, and 1 proton carries mass of 1.66 into 10 raised to minus 27 kilograms. So which is almost approximately equal to the hydrogen atom. An electron has 1800 times less than that of hydrogen atom. That means you can imagine that it is almost negligible. We cannot consider mass of the electron, which is very small. Okay, 1800 times less than that of the hydrogen atom. So therefore we can say that the mass of the electron is negligible. Okay, so electrons, where are electron present? It is present in the extranuclear part, where they revolve in the discrete orbits around the nucleus. Last time also I mentioned to you about in detail about how are electrons revolving in the discrete orbits. Okay, so now also I'll let you know that they revolve in the discrete orbits around the nucleus. Fine. Now these orbits being three-dimensional, they are also called as shells. You can imagine the 3D structure of the atom. Okay, atom and 3D structure of the atom, that is why they are called as shells. Fine. Now these last time I have talked in detail about the energy of the electron. Okay, the energy of the electrons which are revolving in the orbit which are close to the nucleus is low, whereas the electrons which are revolving in the outermost orbit has higher energy. So therefore the energy of the shells depends upon where it is, whether it is near the nucleus or whether it is away from the nucleus. So when it is near the nucleus, it will be having a lower energy, whereas when it is away from the nucleus, it has a higher energy. So this I have talked last time in detail. Fine. Now the number of electrons is also equal to the number of protons. So this I have mentioned to you before also. Remember, whatever is the number of protons, same will be the number of electrons. And since the number of the electrons carries a negative charge, protons carries a positive charge, and since both of them are equal in number, positive and negative, same positive charge, same negative charge, equal positive charge or equal negative charge, and therefore the charges are getting balanced. And since they are balanced, you can say that atom as a whole is electrically neutral. It does not carry any charge as a whole. Fine. Remember this. If the question comes, if the question comes why we say that the atom as a whole is electrically neutral, you should remember that since the positive charge on the protons is balanced by the negative charge on the electron, or you can say like this, the magnitude of positive charge of the protons is balanced by the magnitude of negative charge on the electrons, the atom as a whole is electrically neutral. Fine. Now you can see there is a similarity in the atomic structure as well as in the solar system. So you know that the planets are revolving in the around the sun in the definite orbit. The same way the movement of the electrons in different shells, different orbits around the nucleus is comparatively similar to that of the movements of the different orbits in the planets But planets of the solar system revolve around the sun due to gravitational force. Then why is it that? So what makes the electrons revolve around the nucleus. Okay, why it is so? It is because the positively charged, there is a force of attraction between the positively charged nucleus and the negatively charged electrons, which makes the electrons revolve around the nucleus. So which makes them, because of the attraction, force of attraction, it makes them. Now, what is the function of the neutrons? Do you know? Now we know that the electrons have some function, protons have some function. Then what is the use of, or why are these neutrons present in an atom? Can you imagine? Can you think why are they? Yes, it is very simple. You know that the protons are positively charged. If there were only protons inside the atom, what would have happened? There would have been the force of repulsion between the protons, and atom as a whole would have collapsed. That is why these neutrons which are there helps to keep the protons together in the nucleus, so that when they will be in between the two protons. Okay, one proton, one neutron, one proton, one neutron, one proton, one neutron, and therefore the force of repulsion which would have been there because of the positive charge will not be there. So this is how the neutrons functions in the nucleus. Now what should be the mass of an atom then? Okay, now you know that it is already said that the mass of the atom is concentrated in the nucleus. And what is there in the nucleus? Nothing. Protons and neutrons. And you know that protons carry 1 unit of one unit mass, one unified mass, or 1 Dalton of mass, as well as the neutrons also carry the 1 unified mass, or 1 Dalton of mass. That means the mass is nothing but protons and neutrons. Okay, the sum of protons and the neutrons. That means the total number of protons and the total number of neutrons will constitute the atomic mass. Okay, so electrons have a negligible mass, so we cannot consider the mass of the electrons. So we can only consider the mass of the protons and mass of neutrons. So we can say the mass, atomic mass, is nothing but the total number of protons and the neutrons in an atom is the atomic mass number of that element. Suppose if you consider now carbon. Okay, now carbon has 6 protons and 6 neutrons. So can you think about what will be its atomic mass number? Yes, my dear students, it is nothing but 6 plus 6, which is equal to 12. Remember this, fine. So atomic mass number is nothing but the number of protons plus number of neutrons. So remember to calculate this if any time it is asked. Okay, since electron have negligible mass, we only consider the mass of the protons and the neutrons. Now in conventional symbol, how is an element represented? How in a periodic table an element is represented? How is the atomic number written and atomic mass number written? Now the beginning of the video I have mentioned to you that the symbol A is nothing but the atomic mass. Okay, atomic mass number is represented by the symbol A, and atomic number, that is the number of protons, is the letter Z. Okay, so and the symbol is written in this manner, how it is shown over here. Fine. So remember the atomic number is written down and atomic mass number is written up. So you can say that the A is the superscript and Z is the subscript. Or remember, if you cannot remember which is how it goes, you always remember A to Z. Okay, A to Z. That means A is up, Z is down. Atomic mass number is written up and atomic number is written down, and the symbol is in between these two. So this is how it is being represented in the modern periodic table, which you are going to study in standard 10. So it is written as superscript, okay, whereas atomic number is written as the subscript and the symbol is written in middle. Let us take now an example. Like for example, carbon. In conventional symbol, carbon's atomic number is 6 and atomic mass number is 12. Fine. Okay, it is written in this manner. Okay, now let us the number of protons is equal to 6 and the atomic mass number is 12. That means we can count the number of neutrons by just saying that atomic mass number minus number of protons. We can easily find out the number of neutron. I hope so you have understood this. If you want to find out the number of neutrons, just subtract from atomic mass number, atomic number, or the number of protons, you will get the number of neutrons in it. Fine. So this is how you can find out the number of neutrons. Fine. Then number of neutrons is therefore equal to 6 in the case of carbon. Now let us take one more example, that is of the oxygen. Fine. How is the symbol used for oxygen is O, and the number of protons are 8 and number of neutrons are 8. So what could be the atomic number Z and the atomic mass number A? Can you tell quickly now? Yes, my dear students, atomic number is nothing but the number of protons. The number of protons are equal to 8. That means atomic number is 8, and atomic mass number is the sum of protons and neutrons. So that is equal to 8 plus 8 is equal to 16. And so in conventional way we will be writing it as, okay, so the atomic number of oxygen is 8. Atomic number of So atomic number of oxygen is 8, atomic mass number of oxygen is equal to 8 plus 8, which is equal to 16. And therefore in conventional symbol we can write oxygen as oxygen 16, 8 or 8 and 16. Fine. Let us take the second example, that is of the carbon. We know that the number of atomic number of carbon is 6. How many electrons are there in a carbon atom? Okay, since atomic number is 6 it is given, and I have already mentioned to you earlier that the number of protons are equal to number of electrons. So since atomic number is represented by the number of protons, therefore number of protons is equal to number of electrons, and therefore in carbon there are 6 electrons. So remember this is the way you are supposed to calculate. Okay, so number of protons is equal to number of electrons, and therefore number of electrons is equal to 6. Let us see now the next one, that is a sodium contains 11 electrons. What is the atomic number of the sodium? So atomic number of sodium is 11. That means the number of protons is equal to atomic number of magnesium is equal to 12, and atomic mass number of magnesium is equal to 24. So what is the so question over here is how will you show by the conventional symbol about the magnesium? It is very simple. Here it is given atomic number of magnesium is 12, atomic mass number of magnesium is 24. So in conventional method we can represent magnesium as 12, 24. So atom of calcium consists of atomic number of calcium is equal to 20, and that of atomic mass number is 40. So how many number of neutrons are there present in the calcium? So it is very simple. Again you can just take the atomic the number of neutrons is equal to atomic mass number of calcium minus atomic number of calcium, which is 40 minus 20, which is equal to 20. So this is how we can calculate. If any one thing is given, we can easily calculate atomic number, atomic mass number, the number of protons, number of electrons, number of neutron by just using the formula. So before I conclude in this video, let me again try to make you recall. See, protons are positively charged. It carries 1 unit positive charge, that is equal to 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulombs, and it is similar to that of the electron, which carries a negative charge, 1 unit negative charge. Number of protons is equal to number of electrons. Protons are present as a positive charge inside the nucleus, okay, and positive charge of the nucleus just because of the protons. Then electrons revolve in the orbits, and extra nuclear part it is also called as, along with the empty space. It also carries the same unit of charge. The mass of the proton is 1 unit. Okay, that is equal to around 1.66 into 10 raised to minus 27 in kilograms, and that of the neutron is also same, that is 1 unified mass or 1 Dalton. Neutron is neutron does not carry any charge, and therefore it is also called as a neutral one. Fine. It also carries the same unified mass or 1 Dalton. Fine. The neutrons are also present inside the nucleus, and the number of neutrons is denoted by the symbol N. Number of protons is denoted by the letter Z. It is also called as the atomic number of the element. Fine. Then the electron's mass is negligible as compared to that of the protons and neutrons, and therefore we say that the mass of the mass of the atom is concentrated in the nucleus, which contains protons and neutrons. So atomic mass number is denoted by the symbol A, and it is also nothing but the sum of protons and the neutrons. Fine. And we can easily find out from, it is denoted by the symbol A, and the conventional method of writing the element symbol is nothing but the symbol is written in middle, atomic number, mass number is written up, and atomic number is written down. A is the superscript, Z is the subscript. So remember these things which we have learned in this video today. So next time we are going to learn about the distribution of the electrons in the atom. So till then students, bye and thank you and take care.